What's up? Welcome back to episode 6. Today we're going to go ahead and start working on these motors. Pretty much one of the biggest things that we have left to do, and then we'll deal with the wiring, which really isn't all that hard. Building the motoring, we'll use a little bit of different tools that we've used so far. And after that, I'll go ahead and start doing all the UVs for it, because I've only done UVs on most of the more complicated parts. And that's pretty boring, so I'll probably just do a little time lapse to throw on the end of one of the videos. And if you want to see that whole thing, you can let me know and I'll send it out there, but it's pretty boring. Probably put you to sleep. So for right now, let's start on this motor and see what we can do. So basically we're just going to build one motor and then we'll duplicate it, change its size to whatever we need. And it really isn't all that difficult. Let's go ahead and select everything. Push H to get rid of everything because we don't want it. And let's start with a circle. Seems like a running theme. And we're going to make this one 12. Going to front view. So we can make it pretty big and scale it down later, just so it's easy to work with. And we'll go about right there. Go back to 1. So we have this bottom one selected. We're going to extrude down on the Z and we'll constrain it. We'll go 2.2 blender units. Grab the top one, extrude that one on the Z as well, and we will go 2. So basically, I think the easiest way to do this, push the tilde key, view selected, so we can get in there and grab all of these and all of these. And we'll basically just Alt E along the normals. And we'll just go out with it a bit. This will be our bezel. And we're going to grab the bottom ones. I think this one needs to be just a little bit bigger. About like so. Alright, let's see. I think I'm going to actually make this even bigger. We'll go back to edge select, let's grab this inner loop, scale her down just a little. About like that. And then we'll go ahead and pull you up a little bit more in. And there's faster ways of doing that. You could just do a bevel, but I don't know. I've always found that a little easier for myself. Let's actually, we'll do it like that. And then we can extrude this one just one more. Extrude it up on the Z. We'll extrude it all the way up like that. Go like that. Go ahead and put in our beveling. This. And the reason we did this one is we actually want to put a little indentation there as well. So I'm going to grab this whole loop edge and on the Z, bring it up about like that. That looks pretty good. I'm thinking we might as well just get rid of this interface. I probably should have put it there. Let's get rid of the face there. Grab the whole edge here. Go a little bit bigger like this. And we will go easy. Bring that up like so. And pull you here. Grab one of these faces. don't like that. Grab this top face and we'll just get rid of it so we can connect it, because this right now is just going to be the base for our motor. So this is just what the motor will look like, and we'll change this length and everything depending on where we're going to use the motor at. So for this portion, we're not going to make any of the brackets for this because each bracket will probably be a little bit different depending on where the motor is being used. Some of them will be on the side. I think one of them will be on the top facing in. I haven't quite decided where everything's going to go yet. So we do have our motor set up here. Let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do with this portion. We're going to actually take one of these faces here. Let me get it on. Let me see. So this whole thing is not on a great angle. It's not going to matter too much. So we're going to grab this one and we're going to go in like that. Go to 7 and we will extrude just like this. Have 2 loop cuts in there and 2 loop cuts all the way around. And the reason we want to do that is just so we can round this out a little bit. So we can grab both of these. Shift Z on that. Round that out a little bit. Like that. And we can actually pull those in as well. Like so. And we can put these back like so. Thinking this may be a little too large. All right, so that'll be where our wire comes out of. About like so. Let's go ahead and grab this loop here, this loop here, and just move those forward a little bit. Like so. Let's see. No, that'll probably do. Yeah, that'll probably do. It's just fine. So, go right here to this middle one. Shift S. Cursor to selected. And this will be where our wire will come out of. So we're going to go ahead and add another circle. And this circle will be 6. Scale her down. And a bit bigger. E on the Z. And I'm on face select again. E on the Z, we'll bring this out. Bring it out again. And this is where we'll get to play around with the wire a little bit. Like so. here. All right. That'll work for us right now. So from here, I'm going to add loop cut, just like that. And the reason we added this loop cut is we're going to actually duplicate it. And we're going to pull that loop cut out, and then we're going to make it its own object. So we're going to go to selection, and if we go into the selection, object selection, we have our own little ring here with its own origin. And we'll add it back in later, but for right now, we're actually going to scale it up. And we are going to tab in, grab the whole thing, E on the Z, like this. And I'm not totally sure why I have this extra 2 here. Let's just go ahead and get rid of those. It just will dissolve them. And let's verify that we don't have any duplicates here. All right. So here we're going to actually use another tool that we haven't used yet. And this tool, go into our modifier stack, is the shrink wrap tool. So with the shrink wrap, we can actually shrink wrap it down to the geometry that's underneath and emulate it. So this is going to basically be our zip ties. And the easiest way to do that is with the shrink wrap. Yeah, I'll just show you how it functions. A lot easier. So we have this one. It's a exact duplicate as far as geometry of what's underneath. And we have our shrink wrap set up. And now we have to decide what we want to shrink wrap around. So we're going to choose this object. And there starts our shrink wrapping. And we can set that. We're going to actually go ahead and apply this since it's already there. And we don't have enough geometry here to get this nice curve. So that's why we went ahead and did the apply for that. And we'll add a couple edge loops just to give it a little more to play with. And with that, we can go to our top so we can see exactly what we're doing. And we have our wire right here. We can actually grab these edge loops and move them around just to get a little bit better fit. So it looks a little nicer. Let's see if I can get that one right. And I did move that out a little. And let's see what we have here. Takes a little finagling with it, but it works. doesn't really matter that it's sticking through a tiny little bit right there like that. So we can rotate a little bit. And we can kind of straighten it up a bit. Maybe it's back down. So, let's see what we got here. I'd like to get this one back down a little bit more. See what we have. Alright, so that's our basic shrink wrap setup. I don't like that one. We'll go ahead and just pull that out a little bit. So it lifts off a little, like so. Make sure it's kind of straight. Like that. Alright, that's much better. Alright, so now we have our shrink wrap set up here. Now what we can do is go back into our modifiers, and we're going to add a solidify to it. And go this way with it. Bring it out a little like that. Go to even thickness. And that's a little much. Let's go -1 looks pretty good. Now what we can do is we're going to go ahead and apply that because we're going to need the geometry to move. So we're going to grab this edge loop right here. We're going to push V to rip it away. And with that, let's go to 3 will probably do us. We're going to extrude that out a little bit. Like so. 7. And move that here. And this will be our tie. So if we grab this one, we want that one there. We're going to extrude that out. No, we're not going to do that. We are going to extrude on the normals. That's what we want. Extrude on the normals. We can grab this edge right here and go back to 7. Just move that forward a little bit. So now the big one is to find, actually, move this out a little more. Oh, that. Yeah, that's better. So now we need to find our original edge for this one. See if that's the right one. It is. And we're going to move that one to the outside like this. Move this one to the outside a little bit. And this one we're going to extrude a couple more times like that. Believe that gives us all the faces, and it does. That works. And this inside one right here should move all. Let's go ahead ahead and just pull that out just a little bit more like this. So it's slightly inside the other mesh. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So we can actually drop these a little. Like so. There we go. Not sure why I did that. Not like that. Alright, so that should be our zip tie done. And we have our wire set up here, the basic setup for our motor system. And we'll go ahead and just let me shade this smooth and just make sure that it's going to look properly. Go to 60. Alright, go shade smooth. 60. The wire could be a little better. Take what? No. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the wires completely separate, but I have to model them here, and then we'll just separate them. And then we can shade those completely, since there is not going to be any hard edges to those. So for this, we're just going to leave it at 60s like we normally would. That'll give us our nice smooth areas, or nice smooth edges. Actually, 30 might actually work better on this. Let's see. No, 30 is not going to work. So let's pull it back a little more. No. Let's keep our 60. And we'll just add another edge loop right there. And another one. Right there. Yeah, that'll straighten us up enough. That'll work. Alright, so this is our basic motor setup. We might actually make all of this a little bigger. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and just select all of it. And we'll deselect everything else. S, Shift C. Make that a little larger. Then we can go ahead and grab you, pull you up a bit. And there is our basic motor setup. And we have that curve right there. It's not working for us. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. That works perfect. So we can just get rid of this other edge loop that we put in here. We don't need it. Yeah, that's perfect right there. Alright, so that works. So this will be our motor setup. And we'll have a couple brackets for yeah, that'll work. That will definitely work. All right, cool. So we're going to bring everything else back. Where are they? Where'd you guys go? There wires and add them together. So we need to connect this one, Control J, so now they're all one piece, all one model. Much better. No, let's just bring the whole thing down. And let's just go ahead and make these spindles longer. Like so. Right. Now we can put them back where they're supposed to. Go back into one, rotate again on the Y 90 degrees, and move them into their proper positions. They're actually going to be back a bit, about this far, to give us the room to put in the brackets for them, so we can bolt them up properly. Let's go into the 3 and get that right in the middle like it should be. You can hold shift to do fine adjustments. No. Yeah, that was the right one. Right there, hold shift. Go nice and slow, just like so. Alright, and that'll be the spindle setups for the tires. And I see looks like I ripped the face there. I guess not. I think it's just because there's that many vertices there. So no problem. So those are going to be those. We'll go ahead and it's going to be one more for the next one. We'll go ahead and make the brackets to add these. For right now, let's just get all these in. Let's get all these in the right place. So we have this one and this one, and we're going to do one more, and it is going to be another special one. It's actually going to go right here. About like so. And this one is actually going to control the barrel itself, and it's not going to be this long. It's actually going to be considerably shorter because the barrel axis will be right here for the gear that it will have. So the gear will actually stick out right here, and it'll be like a half moon gear right there to go up and down. So there's that one. And then we have one more. Go ahead and take this one out. We're going to actually scale this one up on the X. A little bit longer, just like that. I'm going to rotate on the Y minus 90 degrees, like so. And then we will rotate on the Z. This and get this one down here where it belongs. I might actually go shorter with it. Alright, so that will be that main one there. This one on the Z. Yeah, we'll just keep the wire in the back side of it so it can go under. We can actually cut some of that away and make the wire come down a little bit under here. Perfect. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got. Pull all our motors in. So we have to make the bracket system here, change up the wiring a little bit so it doesn't look so uniform. And let's go ahead and rotate this one on the Y a little bit. Thanks. And we'll rotate that around. And this is just our basic idea here. We can actually go ahead and just close these in. That. I think I might have missed something up there. Just like that. And I see our keys are way too far out. And this is pretty much the way it goes right now for this part. A lot of figuring out where everything has to go. And we need a key right in the middle. Just like that. Alright, cool. So I think that's going to work for us. And we're really getting there now. We got some brackets to make, a couple wire things to make. Maybe do a little bit of beveling. Because originally I did want to bevel this portion here. Let's go ahead and see if we can just... So this right here, if we bevel this one and this one, and kind of get like a little bit more of a rounded shape. Just like so. And this one, and this one. I like that, just to make it a little more, not so square and blocky. You could actually do these two also. Bam, like that. So now it has a nice rounded shape and it's not so hard-edged. And we have this one little spot right here that's not very pretty. It will be okay. Yeah, I think that'll be fine anyway. Alright, so I think that's going to do it for this one. We went ahead and made all these motors, got them in there. We'll get some bolts in here on the next one, get the bracket made, get some bolts for everything in, start running our wires down and under into the actual box over here, and then we'll start making some of the sprockets for some of these and get that barrel in with its sprocket. And then after that I'll start doing some UVing and we'll drop it into Substance and start getting some textures on this puppy. Alright, you guys have a great day and I'll see you on the next one.